And you're sure your internet problems have been fixed. I'm not going to just lose you in the middle, right?
I'm pretty hopeful. I've been here for like the past 2 hours and the internet's been working. So
don't jinx us. Oh, Jesus Christ. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of E-Time, episode 235. Alex is excited to finally talk about his giant bug dragon.
It's a forest dragon, a bug dragon. But yes,
it's a bug dragon.
Yeah, bug dragon got support. You got some other fun support too.
Dude, we got so many fucking double rares that upgrade so many fucking decks. I'm starting to lose count.
Dude, this is like a superset, I'll tell you.
I'm a little bit scared of what this set is implying, because usually sets like this, like when we got set 4, we got set 5, which was glitter then, and then we got set 6, which was Jiva in the whole new era. So I'm a little bit scared that's what's happening right now.
Well, time will tell. Let's cover what we're getting first, and then we'll talk about that later.
True. All right.
Hey, yes, package for Mr. Top Deck Heroes.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Top Deck Heroes. Mr. Top Deck Heroes, package. Man, another one? What is with this guy? Mr. Top Deck Heroes. Again.
Oh, Melody again.
Mr. Top Deck Heroes. Oh, package. Oh, God. Thank you. That was heavy. What's in that one?
Oh, trading cards.
Cards. Was every one of them cards?
Yeah.
How can you afford that?
Oh, that's interesting you say that. I got it from the voice bit.
Secret.
Man, these people are crazy.
It's no secret. 50 cards. Use code TD Heroes for a discount.
I'll start us off because you like this deck more than me.
Yeah, let's go. We got some Gryandra support with the grade 1 common Furious Attack Dragon Aloe Launcher. It is a grade 1 continuous rear guard. During your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Andra in his card name, this unit gains power +5. And continuous in Guardian Circle, if you have a unit with Gry in its card name, it gains shield +5.
Remind me again, which of the Rylans is which?
Andra is the grade 2 and the Gry is the grade 1.
So it's a 10k shield on turn 1. So if you're going first, you got at least 10k shield in hand if someone tries to rush you or anything, I guess. That's how I'm looking at it.
And then on grade 3, it has both after that. So
yeah, because the grade 3 is always going to have both. I'm looking at it, it's like, when is it going to have only one of them?
Actually,
so it's only going to have 10k. So what now?
This is interesting. It says if you have a unit, not a Vanguard. So if you have one of them on the rear guard circle, you can have both. So
I mean, the same thing applies to that little broken Gardership card you had.
Yeah, yes, but I'm saying like with this one, if you want to gain both the shield and the power, if you can just squeeze the grade 1 onto the board somewhere, you can technically get both.
It's a simple card. Not so simple. And honestly, I don't think it's as good as it was the other one.
It's okay. I love how they're giving you alternate playstyles for this deck. So you got the double rare Soil Edge Dragon. It's grade 2 auto front row rear guard once per turn. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Gry in its card name stands by your card's ability, this unit gains power +5 until the end of the turn. Cost counterblast 1. It gains 10k instead, and you get to choose an opponent's rear guard and retire it. So it gives you some retire options if you want to pay the CB. There was a grade 1 that came out when it originally came out that also, after the battle attacked or boosted, can also retire a back row grade 1 rear guard. So it gives you retire options in the deck, I guess, if you want to make a retire build.
I guess if you want to make a retire build, sure. But why would you run this if you have 2 other units in the front row that both gain 10k power just by you just doing normal shenanigans with the deck?
And drew you cards.
It's like, I understand the alternative you mentioned. Like if you want to put some retire options in the deck so you're not just a onslaught deck but a little bit of a control, sure. But at the same time, it's like maybe.
I'll say Gry is a weird deck. I don't know if they know where they're wanting the deck to go.
You know what I would have wanted for Gry?
It's weird.
But technically it exists for every deck. I would have wanted a type of Angel Ladder consistency, because one thing Gryandra sucks at is the fact that it does have pluses and it does have board generation just by existing. But if you keep popping the board, the deck just suffers.
I think this should have been a rare.
Yeah.
If he took away the once per turn, I could see it being double rare.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to what do we got next? Oh yeah, that's right. The other double rare pair.
Oh yes.
Because we speculated this not too long ago about who's missing support, who might get support. And yeah, we were kind of on the nose. Youthberg exists, and he got the Jejul treatment a little bit, but not as much. Actually, Jejul, nobody got the Jejul treatment. Jejul got the Jejul treatment. That just fucking sucks. Anyway, Youthberg got Mage of Fracture Formations Beldies, or Beldays. It's a grade 1 common that says, auto when this unit is put on Guardian Circle if you have Vanguard or Youth in its card name, it gets shield 5k, making it 10k shield until the end of that battle. If your soul has 3 or more cards with a revolve form in their card names, Energy Blast 3, and it gets 15 instead of 5, making a 20k shield. Now, I will say Energy Blast to gain shield sounds kind of bad potentially sometimes, but after fighting Bastion with the shield card, sometimes that could be useful.
This is a...
Did I lose Alex? I fucking knew it.
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my whole month is ruined. Only DSR Levi just gonna say this. By the way, Philip, how are you getting 15 out of this? Or is 20 out of this? You're getting instead 15 instead of 5.
It's 5k
and it's a 5k base.
Oh, I thought for some reason I was thinking this is an order. I'm used to art of this being like an order.
What are those glasses for?
I told you. We made this joke earlier about how like even with the glasses I can't see.
That's it. You got nothing else to say?
Yeah, I mean that's it. This is nothing like this is okay. Like don't get me wrong, it's shield, like you said. Great. How are you gonna fit this in the deck? I have no idea because the deck space is already tight. The other card we're gonna talk about though, you might be able to find room for.
Exactly. The other card is the double rare, and usually the double rares are the ones you want to run. In this case, we have Knight of Breakthrough Rudval. It's a grade 2 double rare that says when this card is discarded from hand during your ride phase, you may or main phase.
Or main
if you have
phase.
a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with you finish card name, Energy Blast 3 and call this card to rearguard. And then auto when this unit is placed on rearguard, choose up to 1 card with revolve form from its card name from your drop, or face up card with revolve form in its card name from your damage zone and put it into your soul. If you put a card from damage zone into soul, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone.
Huzzah.
Okay.
You can pretty much get it from anywhere before. Now you can definitely get it from anywhere.
I like the fact that it's a when discarded, get it on the board, and then when you get it on the board, do the thing. So it's not like you have to place it. You can actually ditch, ride, call, put it into soul, and it's like, oh look, I'm doing everything.
There was the grade 1 that you wanted to ditch whenever we got full blast anyways. But this is nice that there's another target that you can discard now for
You
skills
still
like
want to ditch the grade 1 because the grade 1 goes into your deck and searches. But if you have if you drew into the revolt forms, you can early game ditch them, and then later, ditch this and call it and put it from drop into soul and yada yada yada.
I think this is a good 2, maybe 3 of in the deck. It's a good tech option in case you hit 1 in damage and you're like, oh no, my Zest hit damage. What am I gonna do?
I have one gripe about this card. As far as I can remember, anytime any good effect was grabbing cards from damage zone, be it, I think Glass has one in the ride line.
Oh,
I think Rotovisor got an arena one.
All the damage goes face down instead of face up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, how does Youthberg get this special fucking treatment? No. Put that fucking card from top of the deck face down.
So this is technically a countercharger as well, people.
No, only revolt form face up, it says there.
Oh, fair.
But it's not a CB, which is my problem, which most other cards were. It's not fair, man. Right? It's not fair.
I don't know.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
Alex, your turn.
Ooh, I got my boy. This is like the long lost cousin that I'm still fond of. Anyways, big angry popcorn, grade 2, common, continuous, rear guard and guardian circle. If your opponent has opponent's G zone has a card, this unit gains power +5, shield +5. If your opponent's G zone has a face up card, it gains power +10, shield +10 instead. So it becomes a 15k shield or a 20k attacker.
I don't know why I pulled this up because I honestly wanted to pull this thing up. I don't know why these two came in pair, but I guess they did.
Yeah, like this card I'm excited about. The other one was like, it's okay, it's just generic. But this card, it's a double rare for Grandfield. Finally, Fairy of Exploration, Rora. Not Rora. Anyways, it's a grade 2 auto with rear guard. When this unit attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Grandfield in its card name, retire a plant token and it gains power +10,000 until the end of that battle. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cost counterblast 1 and it also gains a crit until the end of that battle.
So,
hi, Bat, I can do this too. It's not doesn't stack, but
motherfucker, you can't stack yours.
But mine also get a lot larger numbers.
Depending on what I do, I doubt it.
Let's see. So this on a normal turn, right? So you do like let's say you're on a Persona ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you just swing with this once on a Persona ride without boosting anything, it becomes a 30k, which is a really good number. And then if you use the Vanguard skill, you eat 5 plant tokens, or play gauges. It gets plus 25. So it's 25, 35, 45, and you use its own skill 55 on the restand swing.
Mm-hmm.
Without any triggers.
Correct.
Or boosters. Seems really good to me, especially with the double crit.
See, you only get 2 of those though. As I get my 30 swing as like you, but then I get a 40 swing triple critical, and then I can potentially get a 50 swing triple critical.
There's only one downside to this card. Outside of it, not stacking like bats.
Right.
This is fighting with the Rosarium Fairy for wanting to be in the front row. And Rosarium Fairy in Grandfield is really good.
But this one gains a crit.
Yeah, but Rosarium Fairy also doesn't cost anything. You don't have to counterblast. You don't have to retire plant cage. It just swing does the thing.
I feel like the crit pressure is something Grandfield honestly did need, so I feel like this will beat Rosarium. You still run both. But if you see the option between this or Rosario Fairy, I think you go this. Hell, I think you go this on one side, Rosario on the other. So you have your beat stick on one end, and you have this thing that swings double critical twice potentially on the other. Or if you still want the Rosario Fairy to swing twice, you still can. Because one thing about this card, CV fucking heavy.
Yeah. I will say, Grandfield never CB'd much. The only card that really CB'd a lot was the promo grade one that drew cards. But outside of that, it never CB'd at all. So you have a card to sink in the CB if you don't want to be drawing cards. So just pick and choose of what you want to do. You want to draw cards or you want to be threading?
Pretty much. Well, only time will tell. But before then, we got to actually talk about the Tuesday stream. And this Tuesday stream actually showed us the Brink gave version of the new triple rare cycles. I'm still laughing at that one comment. I was like, oh, just because we're getting a cycle for Stoicheia and what was it, Dragon Empire, does not mean we're getting a cycle for everybody. Anyway, Brink Gates is the same effect as always. No G zone, hand, find your grade 3s out the top 7, yada yada yada. Its condition for its guard circle ability is when this unit is put on guard circle, if your order zone or drop has a set order, this unit gets shield 5k, making it 10k shield just because it exists. And then if your opponent's G zone has a card, you bind a grade 3 or greater card from your drop and it gets 10k more, making it 20k shield to get versus G decks.
Soul or drop, but yes.
Yes.
I still think, I saw somebody out there said that in the Japanese translation of it, the Dark States one did say drop.
Yes. There has been cleared up. The Dark States one was mistranslated when we started reading it. It was
Yes.
soul or drop. Thank fuck they didn't fuck us.
But yeah, this one just like, yeah, you do the dark Brent Gate thing, cool. You're not replenished. You just start the game and you're already live. You don't have to do anything else.
So funny thing, there's one exception, but at the same time, that one exception you even can't run this card in.
What, you gonna say blue Death Star?
No, Messiah, motherfucker.
Oh, I was gonna say blue Death Star because you don't want to get rid of your starter.
In Blue Death Star, you always have a set order ready to go, or you have a set order in your drop because you're soul blasting it. You're gonna meet the condition for this thing.
I was talking about the other effect, but yeah, that too.
Oh yeah, Blue Death Star, you're gonna do it once and once only.
Yeah, well, no, only once. You better hope it works.
No, you're gonna do it once. There's no way to There's not a way to intentionally soul charge in Brent Gate, at least not in Blue Death Star. So I would have said like run multiple of the ride lines, but no, there's not really a way to put cards into soul in that deck intentionally. Simple, straightforward, the cycle cards like always. Moving on though, Alex. I'm gonna sit back. You got to finally rant for a bit.
So you got Levi Dress support, and it's good and it's bad. We'll talk about the good, the good and the
Brain.
ugly. Yes, that. So we'll start off with some of the card you'll never run. The Deep Depths Recon
Recon-tire.
Reconnect Recon-tire That's a name.
Recon-tire.
Lingness. Anyways, it's a grade 1 auto rear guard once per turn. When this unit attacks or boosts, if this unit is on a rear guard with a marker, no, it doesn't say Infinity Eyes. Soul charge 1, and this unit gains power +2 at the end of battle. Now, this is a good Griffagera support card because it says marker. It doesn't say Infinity Eyes, so you can put it on Dragon Tree marker and it works.
I guess you do need the soul in that deck.
Yeah, because you always eat your soul. The only soul you have is the starter most of the time. So it is a way to build soul, and it becomes a 15k attacker or booster.
It's gonna be your fault if we have to do 6 fucking decks again.
This is the only card that got anything merit to play it, Philip.
Actually, there is one more card that gave merit to play Griffagera at least once more.
Oh God.
You remember where I fucking put it? The deck that I put it in. Is it in here? Is it in here? It's got to be in here, right? Yes, it is. Guess which card?
Oh, which card? I can't see that from here, Phil. You gotta pull it.
It's Twin Cast.
Oh, okay, no.
Why, you don't want a fucking 50k shield from drop?
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. If you're gonna argue that there's a merit to play Griffagera again, no, you can't do it. Never mind. It's physically impossible. Anyways, we're moving on. We've got other cards to talk about, so don't go into a
Wait. I'm gonna derail this a little bit more. Wait a minute.
It has to remove your ride deck, Phil. The only ride deck cards you have, this is what I was thinking of, is your orders that you have to put back in order to meet the condition.
God.
You'll be stuck on grade 0 to do it.
Damn it.
Yeah, so you can physically, wait, you have to be a grade 3 or grade 3 or greater for it. I don't even think you can, but okay, so you guess you could, but you still have to have more than just your starter and your soul. It's physically impossible.
Okay, look, man, a man can dream, all right?
Anyways, you got Levi Dress support. This is Levi Dress, not Griffagera. So you got rare, one we saw in the episode, Mulkey Barbellatar. I'm not saying go with that. Anyways, it's a grade 3 auto rear guard. Once per turn, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Levi Dress in his card name, cost counterblast 1 or remove an Infinity Eyes marker. Doesn't say from where either. Draw a card, choose one of your rear guards, and it gains power +5 until the end of turn.
Let's be honest here. If you ever fucking remove an Infinity Eyes marker for this effect off of your opponent's board, you're just an idiot.
Yeah, like always remove your own because you can still get more draws from your opponent. But it is nice that if you get damage denied, at least you have an alternative cost to play this card.
Honestly, for a rare, it's not bad. I think I know. I know why it's a rare. You know why it's a rare?
Because it doesn't go to soul.
No,
Why?
because it's a grade 3.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. If it was any other grade, it probably would have been higher. Speaking of higher rarities, though, we got some double rares to talk about. First, we got Inquisitive Squirrel. Squirrel. Man, that's a word. Anyways, it's a grade 1. Auto rear guard once per turn. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Costs Soul Blast 1. Move this unit to an open back row rear guard. If you moved it to a rear guard with an Infinity Eyes marker, stand it and it gains power +5 until the end of turn. Huzzah! We got a good booster and a good target for Foxdrill.
Yep.
The booster for Vanguard. Because you'll get the boost with the 10k and then it'll move and you get the attack with it with the 10k as well.
I do like the
itself
fact
a 13k.
I do like the fact that it does not have to be on an Infinity Arc marker to start. It just needs to go to Infinity Eyes marker.
Exactly. So there's ways to abuse it. I like it.
But Alex, what if you have a rear guard on the Infinity Eyes marker already? How will you make it open?
By using the other double rare we got, because Levi just got 2 double rares apparently. Knight of Formosity charm in it. It's a grade 3. There's so many grade 3s in this deck now. Drop zone. If you have 3 or more Infinity Eyes markers and you do not have a rear guard with the same name as this card, it costs Soul Blast 1 and call this card to rear guard. Then auto rear guard when this unit attacks. If there's an Infinity Eyes marker in the same column as this unit, cost retire another rear guard. Give this thing 10k until the end of battle. And at the end of the battle, you can retire this to draw a card. So it's a draw engine. Its power, it calls itself back from drop by using a soul, which you had an abundance of anyways. I was actually looking for cards in the original Levi dress to soul blast because I'm like, I have all this abundance of soul and nothing to do with it.
I like the fact that it's basically soul blast 1, get an attack, retire 2 cards, draw a card. So it's not eating any hand. It is requiring board, but most of the time, like we saw the last card, you're retiring the thing, you're going to move the other thing to the open rear guard now to get your attacks in, yada, yada, yada. So it's like...
Yeah. But most of the time, it's going to be your triple rare bug guy that you energy blasted, looks up to stack the top card of your deck. So you kind of want him to die because then you want to bring him back so you can use his on place again to look at the top cards of your deck. So it has this nice little synergy going to where you kill the guy that has an on place, you bring him back, and you keep doing this rinse and repeat cycle.
How do you bring him back?
There's the rare chick. Let me see. This thing. When it's unplaced, you get the Reza thing, and then it gets +10. Or you can use other cards like any order and Stoicheia,
Spiritual Body. Something like Spiritual Body?
Yeah, I mean you can use Spiritual Body or something like that. And just bring it back and give it even more power.
You're talking about the abundance of soul, so that just got me thinking.
Yeah. Like it's an option if you can find the space for it, but then you're eating into. Like I said, you got this. You got the grade 3 we talked about just a minute ago. You got your OG Vanguard. You got the new Levi dress. You got all these grade 3s with no shield. Like, do you really want to add orders to make even less shield in your deck?
Well, look
at
on the
that
bright
point,
side.
you're getting close to Bastion territory.
Well, look on the bright side. You got all these grade 3s. Guess what perfect Regulus piece you can run?
No, I know. For what?
All right. Time for the big boy himself.
Yes. You got Destined King of Infinity, Levi Dress Imperio. It's continuous Vanguard. This card is also treated as Destined 1 of Infinity Levi Dress. During your turn, this unit gains power +5 for each Destined 1 of Infinity Levi Dress in your soul and all of your divine skills. And all of their divine skills. Sorry. Act Vanguard once per turn, cost Counterblast 1 or put a card from your hand into your soul. Choose 2 of any player's rear guards and put an Infinity Eyes marker on each of them. If you put a grade 3 or greater card with Levi Dress in its card name for the cost, you get to choose 3 rear guards instead of 2. And then auto Vanguard when any player's rear guard on an Infinity Eyes marker is attacked or boost. You may have that unit gain power +10 or +10 or -10 until the end of battle. If your opponent's unit got -10, you remove the marker and you draw a card.
I still say it would have been really cool if they gave it support that said, if this unit received negative 10k from the Infinity Eye marker, do X.
I thought it would have been cool that if it had like a hard once per turn skill per turn, to say if you can give it plus 10, your opponent's plus 10, but retire the unit on the circle. Just a whole once per turn skill.
Just, flip flop the things, make it interesting.
I do like how this can choose, say, I'm just going to give 3 to my opponent and it's going to take all the draw off of this. Or you can just give all of them to your side. You don't have to put any on your opponent's side.
I mean, depending on who you're facing and what your hand size is, that might not be a bad idea. Just go 3 there, 3 there, then activate Divine Skill, 1 on my side, 1 more over there. I just need 1 because that booster is going to move there, yada, yada, yada.
And I can already hear people saying, "Oh, you can just run this in your ride line now. Like, it's so much. It's a better version." I'm gonna tell you this now. We've already done some testing with this. It's a fun idea. You can get 3 markers. You can get your 5 attacks off on your opponent being grade 2. It is just go to a casino because you're high rolling already.
It is the PBO, the Overlord problem all over again, where you can run those main alternate cross rides as your Vanguards, but then you need to see the OGs and find a way to put them where they need to be. For PBO, you always ran PBO because it just was a better effect overall, and the only thing you would gain from having the original Phantom Blaster Dragon in Soul was a crit, I believe. So there wasn't any necessity to run it and, not run the other one, but run PBO. And you had more than enough cards in Keter from the main to the promo. You had more than enough cards to put. Hell, even Drilling Angel. You had no more enough cards to put. Overlord was in a similar pocket. It kind of has a better effect than the original, so you still run the end. But you have a promo to put into Soul if it's in drop, so you have those ways to fix it. This leverage
there's not really that many ways to fix it. There is ways that you can search this out of your deck using the cycle card that we talked about earlier, so you can guarantee you're going to ride into it, but there's no way to really force a leverage resistance into Soul. I'm calling it now. Watch it like 6 months to a year from now. We get a Bushy Road Shop promo for both Raziel and this that says do something in the early game, search your deck for a Levy Dress and put it in the Soul.
And Varga. Don't forget Varga.
Yeah. Well, Varga's, we'll talk about that later. I think it's going to be different.
I know. Varga is more like Leonore, and we'll get to that. But
yeah.
I think the only reason Leverage Dress as the Destin King as the Vanguard in the ride line it doesn't work as well as the other examples we gave is because if you don't see the original, the only way to put it into Soul is by drawing it. You can try randomly Soul charging it, but you need to draw it and have it in hand. You can't mill it, or if you do mill it, you have to find a way to put it into hand, and that's going to be hard, and yada yada yada. So,
and if you guys start saying Rousing Rast is a good play, I will hurt you. Or you say that the ride line can Energy Blast 5 and add it, I will hurt you.
So you gotta high roll and see it, and if it happens, it happens. That's great. But if you don't, it's like, well, you're playing a card that doesn't have a divine skill anymore.
Then the other issue with this card, and it's the issue with all of these cards that got revealed, is that none of this fixed the glaring issue that the deck has, and that is the early game. It's still, you don't do anything till turn 3.
Hey man, Bruce needs some company. You can't leave him just yet.
Yeah, and sadly, the only way Bruce actually got good early game is by adding a whole new revision of his deck into a whole different deck.
And then that didn't work, and then we got more promos that gave it some semblance of early game, maybe sometimes, and that still doesn't work.
At this point, I'm just hoping that down the road, Bushiroad just gives us a promo that says it's an order, normal order or something, grade 1.
Oh my god, give you are the new Bruce.
Give your opponent an Infinity Eyes marker and search your deck for a Levy Dress, throw it in the Soul. And it makes this deck really good. Otherwise,
dude, you are the new Bruce. You got a gimmick.
At least I got a good experienced coach to teach me how to play it.
I know, right? You got a gimmick that nobody else has. Infinity Eye marker, Final Rush. You don't early game. You have a decent semblance of multi-attack with power, but you have no plussing back, so you got a really cool punch turn, but but you're gonna get punched back really hard as well. And in the end of it, you're also the second fiddle to the main character.
Jesus, man. Well, cool. Well, Bruce became kind of oppressive at one point. Maybe this will too.
That's funny. Anyway, enough about Levi. We got to move on. We got a couple more other cards to cover. This time, one of the faded ones. Chris Rain got support in set 5. Where's my Velstra support, man? Where's my Velstra support? Jokes aside, the Chris Rain stuff is actually really good. We're going to start off with the grade 1 common first. Presence Song Avelagina? Or Avelagina? Something like that.
Avelagina.
There we go. Auto rearguard when this unit boosts. If you have if you used the divine skill of your grade 3 grade of Vanguard with Chris Rain in its card name, this unit gets power 10k until the end of battle, making it 18k booster if you use the divine skill that fight.
You couldn't just erase the Chris Rain there and just said divine skill and made it used for multiple decks. You literally had to lock this. Sure. Okay, whatever.
Then we got the next card for Chris Rain, the triple rare. Oh, excuse me, the double rare.
Yeah, this is a triple rare in my opinion.
Okay,
Jesus
I was about
Christ,
to
this
ask.
card's good. This is such a good card.
This is such a fucking crack card. We got Morning Practice in the Calm Seas Termana. It's a grade 2 double rare that honestly should have been a triple rare. That says when this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a grade 3 or grade of Vanguard with Chris Rain in its card name, Soul Blast 2 cards with different card names, which let's be honest here, it's not gonna be fucking hard. Search your deck for up to one grade 1 card without Sentinel. Up to one grade 1 card without Sentinel, and if you did not have a rearguard the same card name as that card, call it to rearguard, and that unit gets power 5k until the end of turn. Shuffle your deck. And an auto when this unit attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Chris Rain in its card name, and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets power 5k until the end of battle, making it 15k. Okay, I'm gonna say one thing right now. It says search your deck for up to one grade 1 card without Sentinel. I believe the first translation I saw said any card without Sentinel.
Well, actually, you can look at the text on there, and if it shows,
no. I say grade 1 now. It is grade 1.
You do?
I'm just saying the first translation I read, I don't remember where I read it, said any card. That's why I thought it was correct, because you can get
this card
anything out of
this card is. I still think this card is correct because this means you can search out your deck, your guard restrict booster that goes to your Vanguard.
You
can search out your God, what's her name that everybody abuses in Lyrical? The grade 1 that bounces the thing in front of it. Yukia, yeah. You can search the grade 1 that on hit happens. You can search any order from your deck. You can search that.
Alex, are you forgetting the grade 1 they literally got in set 4, I believe, that said, hey, have 4 attacks because I exist.
Yeah, that like you can just grab anything. It's all fair game. Instant 4 of in this deck. Instant 4 of.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And it's a decent attacker. It gains 5k. So like you do your thing, right? It's probably gonna be boosted by something like a Yuika. It's gonna have probably plus 10 from this skill.
Impossible, but sure.
Well, sorry, plus 5. Because you has to be on the board existing first. But anyways,
I'll tell you right now.
And then you're gonna bounce it. And then you're gonna bounce it with Yuika, and then you're gonna call it back down and do it again.
I'll tell you. Well, that requires 3 soul, but yes. I'll tell you right now. More times than not, you're gonna find the piece you're missing, and more times than not, because you just want to keep one in case for later turns, you're gonna call the fucking thing that makes things restand.
I will say this though. You know why this card's not triple rare, Philip?
Why?
Because it can't search a perfect guard. Because if it searched the perfect guard, it would be triple rare. Because then you can bounce the perfect guard back to your hand.
Dude, if it was the thing I thought it was where you searched any card in your deck, then it would have been a triple rare.
Yeah. It's still a really good card though.
Anyway, since Lon's not here, I'll let you cover the... I did not expect us to get this sport.
I honestly didn't either. I was like, oh wow, Seraph Snow. You got a grade 2, rush to be, rush not to be. Anyways, auto when this unit is put on Guardian Circle, it's a grade 2 by the way. You may choose one of your opponent's imprisoned cards in your prison, and if you chose a card, your opponent puts it into their hand, and this gets shield plus 15 until the end of battle, making it a 20k shield.
I don't like the fact that you're giving your opponent stuff. Choose one of your opponents for. Yeah, I don't like the fact you're giving your opponent stuff.
Well, I'll tell you now, the other card definitely doesn't give them stuff.
You're not wrong there.
You got a double rare Aurora Battle Princess Capture Chirina. It's a grade 2 auto when this unit attacks. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard or Seraph in its card name, so you can't do this until you're grade 3. Cost Soul Blast 1. Choose one. Your opponent chooses a card from their drop and imprisons it in their prison, and this unit gains power plus 5 until the end of battle. More ways to getting cards in your prison with, and also even your opponent's drop zone. So rip Blue Art, I guess. Anyways, auto rear guard at the end of the battle. This unit attacks. Retire this unit. Choose an opponent's card in your opponent's. Choose one of your opponent's cards imprisoned in your prison, and put it to the bottom of the deck. If you chose a card, draw a card.
If it wasn't for the second effect, I wouldn't like this card because I don't like your opponent choosing cards from their dropped in prison because you're basically giving them pieces they might want back on the board.
It is true, but at the same time, hitting the drop is the easiest way to get cards in prison. I feel. So,
funny thing, the first effect is grade 3 restricted. The second effect is not.
You're right. So if your opponent imprisons a PG from their hand or something like that, you just basically -1 on your ride line from their hand.
Where was this when set 4 hit? Oh, I'm going to prison a card. Sure, here's Esperidia. Where was this set 4 when people just put Esperidia in the fucking jail? And you had to sit there while they went into grade 2 turn and went, call it from jail. Here's a restanding rear guard because I'm in grade 2.
I will tell you how this card is really good right now, though. Against certain decks, I'll just say Stoichia, for instance. They'll get cards like Inlet Pulse that'll move stuff into Soul and draw a card. So it'll give you some of the resources back, or they'll use a card that countercharges and disappears or something like that. So at least now, if they imprison those cards, you can say, no, go to the bottom of the deck. Use your resources like a man.
I like this card because it gives Seraph Snow a couple of things. One gives them another imprison for a Soul Blast, which is just, it is what it is. But exactly what you said is one of those things of, even early game, you can throw this down, swing with it, get rid of something in the jail that they might want on the board, and then at the same time draw a card. So it's just free value.
Yeah. And it also incentivizes rush in the early game too, because it replaces itself in your hand. So there's no reason not to call it down, just swing.
Hell, even better. Oh, look. Counterblast 1, look at top 5. Oh, look, I saw it. Call, retire, draw.
Yeah.
Because y'all can do that now.
Finding the Space Force can be fun, though, but...
I'll let Long cook with that. Anyway, we got to move on to some Alden stuff. So the Thursday stream happened. And Alex, you talked about all the Tuesday stuff. I'm going to talk about all the Thursday stuff. Because, oh boy, it supported 2 decks that I do enjoy but do not have. We're back into Keter in grade 3s, and no, it's not Bastion support, it's Alden support with Heavenly Rise Dragon, Linker Spear Dragon. Dragon. It's a grade 3 rare that says auto rearguard. When your auto unit is placed on the rearguard, this unit is on. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Alden its card name, choose one of your units and it gets tanky until the end of turn. Basically, it's like the triple rare, or not even triple rare. It's like the grade 3 card we got for Alden when he got the Divine skill, but just with the power. Moving on though. We got the grade 2 double rare that Alden got. Knight of Heavenly Chase, Del Place. It says
missing a card.
Yeah, there's one more.
Rare?
No,
oh, okay.
Just wait your fucking horses.
Oh, that's a rarity jumping rarity. I was like, huh?
Well, we went from a rare to a double rare, and this one says auto when this unit is placed on rear guard. By the ability of your Vanguard Alden in its card name, choose one of your other units and it gets 5k until the end of the turn. If it was placed on rearguard with a unit, it gets 10k instead of 5k, which honestly is not bad. And then continuous rearguard, if you have a grade 3 greater Vanguard Alden in its card name, this unit gets shield 5k, making a 10k shield in hand. So overall, this card is not bad. It's a 10k shield in hand or interceptor.
I thought it's continuous rearguard.
It's a Guardian Circle, the wiki fucked up. Because how are you going to get shield plus 5k on the rearguard?
Fair. That's fair.
Make sense?
I was like, something was wrong here, and I was trying to figure out where.
Sometimes you need to look at the card and not the effect.
Oh, the card is kind of in 48p on my end.
Well, if you want to pay for Nitro, go right ahead.
Anyways, it's a good card. Shield. If you're using Alden's ability, it means your opponent can't touch it. It's just gonna sit there and intercept for a good shield, and it gets good power. It does what the deck wants to do.
I like it because you're going to call over something that's probably going to give 10k in restand something else. And then that something else is also going to gain 10k from this. So overall, you're just generating really good powers with this card. The jump in rarity is because Alden didn't get a triple rare. It only got those two. Because the triple rare we got is the generic triple rare, not of Bright Bow Krigwell. Same things as usual. No G-Zone, yada yada yada. The condition for Guardian Circle. When this unit is put on Guardian Circle, if your damage zone has 3 or more cards, this unit gets shield 5k, and then of course bind a grade 3 from solo drop, it gets 10k, yada yada yada.
Token Rambu, is that you?
Jesus Christ, man. To be fair, this was probably the fairest way to give a pseudo guarantee in Keter. Because everything else kind of followed standards. Dragon Empire was cards in your opponent's drops. Okay, it was your own. Dark States was Soul, which I still think is unfair. Lyrical was open rear guards, which the amount of bouncing they do, it's always going to happen. Brengay was having a set order and drop or set order zone, so that's always going to happen. So Keter had to be something that Keter does and that it's consistent. And saying cards on board is not fair against retire decks, so it had to do something else.
Also, it kind of fits in flavor because Angel Feather is technically part of Keter, your United Sanctuary, so it does give a feel for Angel Feather in the nation.
I'm still missing an Angel Feather type deck where you're just manipulating your damage zone while you're playing.
Raziel was close, but it still wasn't it.
Exactly. I missed that. Anyway, moving on to the other 3 cards we got. This time for Lyrical, we got the Heat from the Live Hasn't Yet Cooled Down Filio. Why these long ass names, I do not know, but this card is a rare grade 2 that says auto when this unit is placed on rearguard or put on Guardian Circle. If you have Anger or Flame G in its card name, this unit gets power 5k, shield 5k until the end of turn for every 2 of your open rearguards. It's not bad.
I can't remember. Does Flame G open up its rearguards a lot?
Yes, almost every single Flame G card, or at least the originals, had the effect that at the end of battle that they attacked, you could retire them to do something. So you would always be opening up rearguards.
Okay. I also can't remember, so that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, not to mention this is Lyrical, bounce.
Yeah.
So at most, this can be a 20k attacker, 15k shield. Which is not bad. Moving on. We got another card for Flame G. A double rare this time that I honestly enjoy, and I think I'm going to be playing 4 of. Because we got Groaning Base Nebroily. It's a grade 1 that says auto drop when your unit with Flame Glam in its card name is retired from rearguard by a card's ability. Bind this card, choose one of those retired cards and put it into hand. This does not care which turn it is on.
Yes, so you use your abilities, clear out your circles, it'll proc. Your opponent retires your cards, trying to get rid of cards, it'll proc.
I like this. I like this a lot. Wait a minute.
It procs and drop too.
Minute. Hold the phone. It's not in here, is it? I just remembered a card exists.
Oh, boy.
Hold the phone. This binds itself. I just remembered another card.
Oh no, you got black wings, white wings combos in here now.
Hold up. I'm cooking. Cooking.
Oh no.
Alex, there's a promo that never made sense in Lyrical. I think I have it. There it is. Oh my God, I have it in my binder. This is a promo that never actually made sense in Lyrical. That says, when this unit is placed on rearguard, Soul Blast 1, which is going to be hard in Flame G in all honesty, but still, put all of the cards from your bind zone into drop, bind the card from the top of your deck, and if a trigger card was bound, draw a card.
Oh, is that the order for the Black Wings, White Wings deck?
No, it's a fucking normal unit.
What?
It's a fucking normal unit.
I would have never known that.
It was a promo.
Cards, though.
It was a fucking promo that never made sense because the only cards that actually bound was White Wings, Black Wings. And the only reason you would have to use that card is if you fucked your bind zone and you had to fix it.
All right, people. You heard it here first. Whenever this video, the video comes out, I'm predicting it. Philip's gonna use this effect card, right? So you're like, all right, cool. I'm doing my whole shtick. I'm getting my setup. I'm getting value. Buying the top card of deck for the cost at the end of the turn, or at the end of the cost.
Overture, of course. Yeah, this is me. We know this is gonna happen. That's normal. But no, I'm honestly starting to cook because think about it. If I keep binding these every turn, and then if I can manage to find a way to bounce this in hand using either friend set or maybe an order, if I can put a soul engine in this deck, maybe using Yuika, if I can keep bouncing this, right? I can keep binding this, putting the Flame Gs that I retire back to hand, playing this, putting this back into drop, and just keep doing this shit.
If Philip, you already have a way to find it. It's the next card we're going to talk about.
Oh, you're not wrong.
It's just card's cracked.
Okay,
this is
so that was a double rare. We got a triple rare for Flame G called Flame Glam Support Guitar Grenadine. It's a great
more Flame G cards. It's actually isn't the Vanguard search these out of deck?
1 sec, let me read the effect first.
Okay, go ahead.
When this unit is placed on rearguard from hand, Counterblast 1 look at the same number of cards on the top of your deck as the number of units with Flame Glam in their card name. Choose a card from among them, put it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. And then act rearguard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Flame Glam in its card name, Energy Blast through, retire this unit, and you get, the player, the original power of all of your units with Flame Glam in the card names becomes 13k until the end of turn.
So, the fun fact about this card, the reason I asked it is the Vanguard gets Flame G units out of your deck and calls them to rearguard, correct?
The Vanguard on grade 2 ride grabs Flame G units from your soul, calls them to rearguard. The Vanguard's ability is Soul Blast 1, search your deck for a Flame G, call it to rearguard.
Okay, beautiful, because you know why? So you call it to rearguard, right? You search your deck, you get this on the board, you use its own effect to Energy Blast 2, retire it.
Oh yeah, Energy Blast 2. I thought you were going to go for the...
No. Energy Blast 2, retire this unit. You get the skill, so it doesn't matter if it leaves or not.
I know where you're going.
Then you proc the double rare we just talked about, bind it, put it back into your hand, call it back down. Then you look at the top cards, probably just add a perfect guard or any piece that you're missing, and then you just get all the value out of this card.
That actually would work, yeah.
So you just think, yeah, I just want a tutor. Vanguard, get this out of my deck.
I'm so sad it doesn't stack. But what would it stack with?
Don't stack it. It's already really good. Don't stack it.
I'm gonna be cooking with this. I really want to put that promo in there because if this is the case, it's actually a really good counter against retire decks. But it's just like, oh yeah, cool. I have this grade 1 double in my bind zone. Do you want to retire this stuff and bounce it back to my hand, please and thank you?
And low-key, the red text is really good because usually whenever you would go into your starter, during the battle phase. It's a 5k, so now it being 13 means it's hitting for even larger numbers. And you don't have to go so high in damage to make it threatening.
I think I fucked up Hector.
Oh no.
Alex,
like this deck is really look. This deck
Alex,
looks really good now. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna tell you what I thought to put. We might change it now, but what I thought to put against Flame G.
What's that?
Flagberg.
Don't.
I said that was torture.
What is one of the things Flagberg's ability does?
Re stands rear guards. But
It
also
retires rear
things.
guards.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna use this promo to just say I'll never lose my rear guards. Nana nana boo boo. No, like for real though, like the double and triple rare they got honestly makes this deck look really good now. It was already pretty decent. Now it looks really good.
Right?
I'd say this is a solid A deck now. It has the potential to do really good because honestly, look at the top cards of your deck is almost a carbon copy of Ava's first ability when it first came out. And look how far that deck digs now and how well it does. And you're looking at probably 5 or 6, depending on how many you have at the board at the time when you practice skill.
Look at the same number of cards. The top of your deck has number of units with Flame G in the card name. So just by placing this,
Vanguard.
you're already looking 2 because you have itself and the Vanguard. So if
And
you
that's not
put the
including
other
the other.
2, exactly. So there's potential to do 3, maximum 6.
Yeah. But even then, like Ava's digging for 3 and it does a lot just digging off a 3 or 4. Like just imagine.
It's not grade restricted on the search. So if you see it early game and then pull the ride line out on turn 2, hey, that's top 4.
Yeah, exactly. So like honestly, this is just a really good card.
Anyway, enough of Flame G. I can't wait to cook this deck. It's going to be so much fun to use. Moving on. That is it for the leaks. We only got a couple new sections to cover. And that's the fact that apparently to collaborate both of the little plushy good guy, bad guy anime, what are they called? I honestly forgot.
Sibolt and Gabuelis.
There we go. We're getting some Destined Fated One supply product sets, whatever you want to call them. So they're going to be including fighters coins, a quick start deck, some promos of key units, like for example the Gabuelius, the Syllabil, one of the
Sibolt.
basically, yeah,
It's gonna be
basically
the,
Varga and Raziel as well as their ride lines.
Yeah, the Gabuelis and Sibolt are the over triggers, and I think it's just the generic Cray Elemental one, if I remember right.
No, it's the Nation over trigger.
Oh, it's the nation for that nation?
Yep.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Then yeah, you get the ride line. So if you really like Raziel, you really like Varga, you get those. And I think a lot of people are going to go after this for the storage box and the counters. But it is
I was
nice
about to
that,
say,
you know,
the storage box looks so fucking gorgeous.
yeah, it looks nice. And especially if you like playing like specific like decks, like if you're a big Fated One or Destined One player, you can just store all of your decks in one box for those.
That is a good question. That is a very good question before we move on. Let's see here. Baldio, Odium, but then I got Velshra and I got Blandmeyer. Damn, I'm torn. I like
It's easy for
Liel
me. I have
Amorta.
I
She
have-
just sucks.
I have just the Zorga and Levi-Dress, so I'm just 50-50 between the two.
Man, I really want both. Anyway, moving on. Time to talk about the big boy.
Yep. You got to see the new Varga. Well, part of
Spoiler
it.
warning, of course, but unparalleled Drake Selif Varga Dragus Raksha. And we got to see some semblance of its ability. So this is still also... Yes?
It is a cross ride. It's not like
Yes.
Levi-Dress and was Raziel is going to be.
It's a lot closer to what Leonor Vivace is.
Yes, because when you ride on it, it activates Persona Ride unlike Leonor, but you do go into a state, which I think it said was the Dragweir? Malworm state. That's what it was.
So apparently, this is all assumptions and speculations until next week when we won't see the full effect. But the assumptions and speculations are the fact that Malworm is when this unit is placed by riding from a unit with Vargan, it's a different card name, activate Malworm state. If you're already in the Malworm state, yada 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 until the end of the fight, yada yada yada. If you did not Persona Ride this turn, activate Persona Ride. Yep. However, what it actually does, again, all this is all assumptions for the anime. Auto Vanguard once per turn when this unit in the malware state or Malworm state attacks. Retire all of your and your opponent's front row rear guards. This unit gets 10 until the end of turn. At the end of that battle, counterblast 1, retire all of your and your opponent's back row rear guards and stand this unit, and it gets drive -2 until the end of turn. Then we also assume that the divine skill is the exact same. So, thoughts?
So I haven't played it as much as other people that I know have played it, but some of the people are saying that this did fix the problem where you really wanted to get rid of the back row rear guards, and it felt kind of bad because you just put things in the back row that they're going to keep, and then you had to use cards like the rare or common that when it died killed something in order to get rid of those on certain matchups. So this helped against certain matchups because now it's just a board nuke every turn basically.
But this also gets rid of your own board.
Yes, but they got new cards in the show that are gonna, when they die, do things in back rows.
Again.
Yes, again. Plus, most of the time, you can just kill off your own back row rear guards for their own skills whenever things happen. Like the guard thing that said they can't intercept. Whenever the thing died in front of it, Procting died and then drew cards. So more of the time, your stuff's gonna back row is gonna die before it procs, or they're gonna do things when it die anyways. So I think,
or you're gonna give it the effect when it dies, it goes to your hand.
Exactly. So otherwise, I think it's gonna be okay. I don't think it's I think there's a downside. If anything, it's a good upside.
Well, according to the episode, we also got a new grade 1, like you mentioned, that apparently might say something along the lines of, when this unit is retired from rearguard by the ability of a grade 3 Vanguard, we don't know the conditions or costs. Basically, when retired, Soul Bless 1, call this card a back row rearguard as rest. If your Vanguard is in the Malworm state, stand it.
Yeah. So
a reusable booster.
Yeah. Or just attack and it becomes a booster.
Oh, true. That does work that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because you can attack with it for 18 on Persona and then kill it and it becomes a 8k booster behind the Vanguard. That's what happened in the anime, spoiler alert.
Well, only time will tell. We'll get the full effect more likely Tuesday. Speaking of what we're going to get, when we're going to get it. The next Tuesday stream, scrolling, uno momento. I should have this prep better, but I don't. Anyway, the next Tuesday stream, yes, we're getting the 7 cards, including Unparalleled Raksha, as well as Faded King of Miracles, Raziel Vita, and Black Dragon Gabuelius.
Yeah, so we're getting...
Or Blast Dragon.
Yeah, Blast Dragon. Like, we're getting everything Tuesday. This is gonna be a lot to take in.
To be fair, the set drops Friday, so we should be getting everything.
And they're gonna be doing a box opening of it there too. So as usual, they open the product on the stream. So yeah, we're gonna know everything Tuesday. So,
but with that happening Tuesday, we are technically going to get a breather in a sense. So we got a chance to cover all the cards, do all the faded ones one more time, give you guys some really good content. Because on the next Thursday stream, we are starting the reveals for the Korokoro Start Deck Pack, which will be including 1 triple rare order that has the art of all 5 of the Korokoro collabs, 6 reprinted triple rares with different illustrations, and also be revealing a bit of the characteristics of each deck.
Wait, so does that mean we're getting a whole new line of start decks with these?
No. Just called a start deck pack. It's DZ Special Series 4. It's still the same product. Okay. For some reason, it's called the Korokoro Start Deck Pack.
Because I was wondering if it means that we're getting Korokoro Start decks.
No. From what I remember correctly, you mentioned that if you buy a box, you should be able to build a full-fledged playable deck from one box.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, yeah, it's probably because they're going to be the nation / the Cora collab, kind of like the Vispo. So that means you can just meld anything that's in that box together and make it work. Because
they're all going to have their own independent nations that they belong to, but they're also going to fall under the Cora nation, which means you can make a Cora deck and splice everything together. I'm very interested to see what this order is going to do because it has all the arts means that it might be played in all the decks.
I'm going to assume it's going to be a Regalius piece or something that's locked to him.
It's not going to be a regular piece, but it's probably going to be in order. It's probably going to be a Cora order. That way, if you don't play the Cora coronation, you're not going to be able to use it.
Yeah, probably. I can see that.
Anyway, with all that being said, we're going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching or listening to episode 235 of V-Time. If that episode, please like, share with your friends, comment down below. What you think Razel Vita's going to do, or Gabolius, because we don't know anything about those two.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting because I think Gabolius is going to be a supporting rear guard in Raziel's deck.
Has to be.
Which is going to be weird.
Well, more reasons to run Forbidal in that deck.
All right.
Anyway, with all that being said, if you like the episode, leave a like, share with your friend, comment down below, yada, yada, yada. But with all that being said, I've been Phil.
This is Alex.
And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Woo.
Oh no, I forgot my prop. No.
What prop?
I was going to get a crown because he's a Destined King.
You trash.